Hello and welcome back to the Entrepreneur's Anchor. I'm Naveen Kumar Selvaraj, and today we are talking about marketing. But we are not talking about aggressive sales tactics or manipulation or your typical AI generated bombarded messages that all of us get every day. Hey, can I find you ways to increase your SEO ratings? Can I find your ways to get more leads on LinkedIn? Nope, none of it. We are instead talking about mindful marketing, communicating your purpose with authenticity. The traditional view of marketing is that it's about creating a need in your customers and then convincing them that your product is the solution. But what if marketing could actually be a two-way street? What if it could be an act of honest communication, a way to attract the right people to your purpose and not just to your product? This is a spiritual approach to marketing. It's about building a brand that is a genuine reflection of your values and your mission. It's about communicating from a place of service and not from a place of scarcity or manipulation. When you market mindfully, you're not just selling a product. Rather, you're inviting people to join a movement, a community, and beyond everything else, a purpose. The marketing landscape, as I mentioned when I opened this episode, is filled with noise. Every company is shouting. And given today's advent of AI and AI generated content, oh God, it's over the top. They're trying to grab our attention with flashy ads, clickbait headlines, and empty promises. This kind of marketing operates from a place of fear, the fear that if you don't scream the loudest, you will be forgotten. It's a form of unconscious communication built on the premise that people are easily swayed and that their insecurities can be used to drive sales. But this approach is ultimately unsustainable. Period. People are smart. They have always been and will always be. They can feel when they are being manipulated. This kind of marketing might yield a short term gain, but it erodes trust and builds a brand that is hollow and inauthentic. Mindful marketing, on the contrary, it starts not with the customer, but with you and your purpose. It begins with the profound question: why does my business exist? It's about getting crystal clear on your mission, your values, and the real world problem that you're trying to solve. When you have this clarity, your marketing becomes an act of sharing, not an act of convincing. It becomes a beacon that attracts people who are already aligned with your purpose. You stop chasing clients and start attracting your tribe. In fact, I would say you should rather start with the question, why do I exist? Heavy topic, but trust me, you'll be surprised at what are the various answers that you get. I always start this when I meditate. Why do I exist? What's my purpose today? And with that, you will ultimately start getting answers for the remaining, including why does your business exist? The spiritual practice of mindful marketing is rooted in authenticity. It's the willingness to be vulnerable and honest about who you are, what you stand for, and what you are building. It's about sharing your journey, the successes, the failures, the lesson learned, all of it, so that your audience can connect with you on a human level. In fact, you see, that's one of the reasons why I try my best to weave in genuine, authentic, first hand experiences of mine right here in the Entrepreneur's Anchor. By the way, if you're hearing, you know who you are. I wish to thank a lot of you who have written to me, thanking me for, putting out some genuine content with real world experiences that you all are able to relate to. Yep, that's the proof. So the point is, people don't buy from companies they trust. They buy from people they trust. By being authentic in your marketing, You're building that trust on a deep, granular, spiritual level. Your marketing becomes an extension of your integrity. I remember a time when I was so focused on trying to look like a polished, perfect business leader. My marketing was sterile, corporate, and devoid of any real personality. I was using all the right keywords and all the right tactics from various so-called tried and trusted playbooks. But my marketing wasn't connecting with anyone. My business was growing, of course, but it felt inauthentic. I was putting on a performance rather than sharing my truth. It wasn't until I started to share my personal journey, the struggles, the setbacks, the spiritual lessons I was learning, that my marketing truly began to, relate and resonate with everyone. I started to tell stories about my failures and what I learned from them. I started talking about the spiritual principles that guided my business decisions. My marketing became an extension of my life, not just a tool to sell a product. The response was incredible. My audience grew, not just in numbers, but in quality as well. I was having people giving feedback, comments, writing back to me. They were people who were genuinely aligned with my purpose. They became not just clients, but a community. It was a powerful lesson that authenticity is the most powerful marketing tool of all. So, how can we practice mindful marketing in our businesses? Well, first of all, clarify your purpose. Before you write a single word of copy or create a single ad, take the time to define your why. Don't run to any of these Gen AI chatbots to immediately ask them to churn out your first ad or content. Start from you first. Take the time. Why? Why am I doing this? What is the deep underlying purpose of your business? Who are you truly trying to help? Yeah. Second, tell your story. Don't hide behind corporate jargon. Share your journey, your origin story, your values, your challenges. Your authenticity is your greatest asset. Third, practice empathy in your messaging. Your marketing should not be about you, it should be about your customers. Instead of saying, we have the best product, say, are you struggling with this problem? We have created a product to help. Your marketing should reflect a genuine understanding of their challenges and a genuine desire to serve them, right? Speaking of serving, fourth, be of service. Your marketing should provide value even before a sale is made. This could be through a helpful blog post, a free guide, or an insightful podcast episode. Be providing value for free. You are building, by doing this, you're building trust and demonstrating that your business is truly in the business of helping people. And finally, practice what I call the gut check. Yep, you heard that right. Gut check. Before you launch a marketing campaign, ask yourself, does this feel authentic? Does it feel like a genuine reflection of my purpose? If the answer is no, be willing to go back to the drawing board. In fact, quoting my mentor, he told me a very simple advice which has stuck with me, and I think I'll be taking it to the grave, or by sharing it with all of you, I'm spreading it forward. He simply said, when you tell the truth, you don't have to lie. I let that sit with you. With that, thank you for joining me on this episode. Remember, the most successful marketing is not about manipulation, it's about connection. It's about communicating your purpose with authenticity. Please subscribe and share this podcast with a fellow entrepreneur who is tired of the noise of traditional marketing. Next week, we'll explore the alchemy of failure, turning setbacks into wisdom. Until then, stay grounded, keep building with purpose, and remember, your spirituality is your greatest asset. See you next time.